Ladies and gentlemen, a big round of applause for Dr. Amaya. And Dr. Amaya, what a line. We only get paid when there is outcome. I mean, as goal-oriented as that. How fantastic was that? All right, ladies and gentlemen, on to our next segment. For our next segment, we have a leader who empathizes and sympathizes with all of you when it comes to the hurdles and the troubles and the digital transformation challenges, of course, in the manufacturing industries. But it gets better. He's here to provide solutions as well. Let's give it up for Mr. Rajeswaran C Sababathy, the founder and CEO of Shoubii. Can we have Mr. Sababathy on stage with us? Mr. Sababathy, you happen to be one of the speakers, only speakers to be called twice. So what a pleasure to have you with us.
Hi, same here.
Absolutely. So, sir, our question to you is, right, has to be one small question, one-liner answer. So you've been ruling the IT industry for a whopping 27 plus years, which is exactly how old I was many, many years back. So in one line, if you can let us know, what is that one motivation that kept you going for such a long time?
That's a very interesting question.
Thank you.
That will be my one-line answer.
Okay, not a problem, not a problem. As long as if I get a compliment, I take it. And then I ask no further questions. Fantastic answers. Stage is all yours.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. So today I'm going to talk about the digital transformations and the challenges that normally we face across. So a quick introduction about the agenda. We'll talk a few lines about our company, Shoubii Consulting, and again a few lines about the solution insights, what we have, and we'll show a few slides about what we have done in different clients and the challenges, of course. I've listed some of the challenges that we have come across, and then we'll move to a few case studies, and finally the closing comments. First thing what I want to tell is, this is probably the first time some of you or most of you are hearing about Shoubii Consulting, right? So we are basically in United States, and we have clients in US, Canada, and the Gulf region, and in India also. But in India, we partner with some consulting companies, and this is the first time we are reaching to direct clients like you. Okay. And I would like to just reinforce that, although this is the first time we are reaching out to Indian clients, we bagged the award for the Consultant of the Year 2021 in the manufacturing sector. So that's based on the implementations that we have been part of or helped our clients across the globe. And this is the team. Most of them are here, the digital manufacturing team. So I'm the founder of the company. And so we have Ram, the director, 𝐒𝐿𝐲𝐵 the senior managers, and Maheshwari, one of our marketing executives. So like I mentioned, this is where we are doing some of the digital transformations at present. You can see US, Canada, some of the Gulf countries, and India. Like I said, we partner with big consulting companies. So at least 15 different digital transformations. We are working with companies like 𝐒𝐝𝐲𝐵, Tech Mahindra, to just name a few. So, and looking forward to work with more direct clients in India. And we have our delivery center in Coimbatore. It's a place in Tamil Nadu, and we have 24/7 facility where people can support across different time zones. And it's not a big consulting companies like Deloitte and Accenture, but we do have all the capabilities to deliver clients across the globe. All right, I want to quickly talk about some of the solution insights that we are implementing. So this is not all, but I just want to say that, okay, this is a sample. So one is the SAP ME Mobile. You might have heard about the MES solutions. There are different MES solutions in the, in the market. So, I mean, we are fortunate enough to implement the SAP manufacturing execution solutions. So even in SAP ME, you have a solution called ME Mobile. So basically, if you have a large manufacturing facility and if the operator has to be mobile and then capture the data as well, so this solution will be very helpful. Okay. And then digital manufacturing cloud, DMC. So if you have not heard about it, I can guarantee you that this is going to take the market on the manufacturing execution side. So anytime you go to, for example, if you go to SAP and talk about implementing manufacturing solutions, they're going to talk about DMC, right? It's taking the manufacturing industry by storm, I would say. The product is not fully mature to be implemented across all the manufacturing, production lines, but it has, several good features that is, ready to be implemented. But over the next 4-5 years, I see SAP DMC being the default manufacturing execution solution. Okay, and we have a small demo that if you walk to our booth, we'll be able to show. We also plan to have a follow-up session, and we can demonstrate this solution to you. And Oracle Cloud Solutions, it's again, Oracle is a very popular software, but until 10 years back, say for example, if you look at the Oracle solution, it would look like a lean version of SAP. But today, if you look at the Oracle Cloud, it's as good, and the ease of implementation, and the benefits you get out of it is really very impressive. So Oracle, so we are helping clients implement Oracle solutions as well. All right. So solution insights, I'll just stop here. There are other things that we do as well, but when we get into direct contacts, one-to-one discussions, we can probably suggest the most appropriate solution for you. All right, I want to talk about, take a few examples of what we have done as a part of digital transformations. So what our capability is, and we can take it from there. So digital transformations, you can have different definitions, but the way I look at it is, how you integrate your ERP system with the execution system and all other external systems that you have in place, right? In any digital transformation project, it is not possible to replace all the different systems that you use for your production execution. So it makes a lot of sense to have some of the systems, running as they are, and then we just integrate with them rather than some manual interfaces. So digital transformation, I think it's all about connecting all the required systems together and getting the information real time, so we can make some well-informed decisions. Okay, so I'm going to take specific examples right now. So IFS is an ERP. It's not as popular as SAP or Oracle. And this client, we wanted to develop the solution in SAP MII. They wanted to keep the IFS, but still they want to use the benefit of the MII solution. So although we have the capability to connect ERP directly with MII, we went ahead with the BTP or CPI, Cloud Platform Integration, keeping the future roadmap of the client. So the client wanted to have cloud data storage and all. So it made a lot of sense to have the CPI, and so we integrated the IFS with MII using CPI. Right? CPI is a brand new technology, I would say, but we were able to do this successfully. And then SQL database integration, it's a very common interface that we do in any digital transformation projects. So now I've shown SQL database and Excel database, how it can be interfaced into the ERP system via the MII layer. MII is the interface layer. So although I've talked about SQL, you could integrate any database, any external database where you have the required information and then process it, right? It's just an example. So it could be a simple access database, Excel-based information that you transform into Excel, or it could be very complicated database where you have multiple tables and all informations are available. And sometimes in these digital transformation initiatives, it may not be possible to get rid of all these other databases at one go. It may have to be phased out sequentially. So we have the ability to connect with different databases and get the information. So OSI Pi integration. OSI Pi is a historian, and the benefit of having these historians versus just standard databases, it has the ability to store data on a time based, right? Every millisecond, every second you can store, capture and store this information in the SQL database, or sorry, in the OSI Pi or any other historian. And we have the ability to connect this historian into our execution system, right? So although you have tons and tons of information in the historian, we just pull what is required for us, and then we could do whatever. We could do a SPC chart, or we could just display it to the operator, or we could just generate some alarms. I was talking about generating some automatic emails when the parameters are violated. You could send text messages to the managers or supervisors when there's some violation. So yes, so this historian integration plays a very significant role in digital transformations. And so direct PLC integration. So in any project you will have many PLCs. So where the information is available, and if the PLC has the ability to transmit the data, then yes, we can capture it and then we can transfer it to our execution system or the ERP system. So we have that capability. And the one challenge is with the direct PLC integration is, I mean, all the new PLCs, say for example Siemens, it has the ability to transmit the data to an external system. But if you take PLCs which are 20, 30 years old, I know in many industries those are still in use, right? So that's a challenge we run into. So because MII comes with some standard protocols, so if we have to connect with direct PLCs which are very old, then yes, so we still have some other workarounds, but new PLCs are just very easy to connect. It's like plug and play, and then we can plug it and we'll be able to pull the tags into our execution system. All right, Agv integration, I talked about briefly in my previous discussion. So Agv is called automated guided vehicle. So in some big industries, we see these vehicle moving all by itself and then taking the material from one place to another, or after the material is produced, you still take this and then it has to be put away in the right bin. So we have developed a solution where the ERP system or the execution system connect with the AGVs, and the machine can come in at the right time to the production line with the required raw materials, or when the material is produced, it can take and put it in the right bin. So there's a lot of configurations and development that goes with it, but this is one of the fancy things that we have done in our client. All right, next is inspection tool. AOI is a brand by itself, and then that's an inspection machine. So when the product is produced, it could sense, I mean, it scans the product and then it senses if the product is of good quality or not, right? It could sense if all the screws are fixed in the right place and so on. So, and then that's a local machine, right? What we did was we integrated this test results into our ERP system or execution system. So when the machine senses the data and it senses there's a failure, then we connect that to our execution system and then log the non-conformance. So and if the machine does not sense any error, then it is confirmed automatically without any NCs. So yes, so we have the capability to connect with any such external systems, not just an inspection tool. It could be any manufacturing execution system. It could be an inspection tool. It could be a process automation tool or whatever. As long as that tool is able to send some information outside, right? We'll be able to capture that and then integrate with our execution system. All right, Google Glass integration. This is a very interesting thing we did in one of our clients. So basically, you don't even have the operator to type in some informations. So the operator will have the Google Glass, and the Google Glass will be able to read the APIs, right? And the operator, just by signal of the hand, right, you can say yes or no. And so what it does is it does not require the operator to log into a system and then look for the shop order and or whatever and then record the results. So the operator, all they do is they just look into the machine, right? So and then the Google Glass is intelligent enough to look at what product is being produced and so on, and then it gives a prompt for the operator, and the operator just by a hand signal can complete the transaction. All right, Weybridge integration, that's a very common thing. When the material comes in, you're purchasing materials from the vendor, the material comes in, we could integrate with the Weybridge and then it could complete the purchase order, goods receipt, right? So again, it helps simplify the goods receipt process, and again, when the material goes out, the shipping, so you, and based on the weight of the material and along with the empty weight, you can calculate what is the material that is going out, and that information from the Weybridge can be integrated into our regular purchase orders, shipment documents, and so on. All right, that's a few examples that I picked up to share here. I have 4 more minutes, so I'll just try to quickly run through a few things. So the challenges in digital transformation, right? The first thing is visualizing the end state. Other people have talked on this as well. So it's unlike a standard ERP implementation. This on the execution side, the options are just endless. Simply because we talk about IoT and other things, right? We can connect to the internet, and this execution system has endless capabilities, and so it is difficult for now the clients to decide what should be the end state, right? So and if you go with this traditional ASAP roadmap methodology, you might be familiar with this on the right hand side. So that if you use that methodology, what happens is the first time the client or the business people get to see the solution would be during the testing phase. So it may be too late. So it's going to be a disaster if you just use this method of implementation, right? On the left-hand side, I have the sprint methodology, or we call the agile methodology, which is traditionally used for software developments, web technologies. And if you're going to use this again, I can tell you it's going to be very difficult, right? Because in sprint methodology, you have the requirement to see things in every sprint. So what we recommend is we typically adopt a blended technology of sprint or the agile as well as ASAP methodologies, and we try to come up with a clear deliverables for each sprint. Now you don't have to wait until the end of the end of the development to see what the solution is going to look like. So and again, this is very flexible, and what I would recommend from my experience is we have to have clear deliverables. We don't wait until the last minute to see the solutions. Okay. Dynamics of the solution, I was talking about this, the options are endless. So it is really important to say, yes, okay, this is what we want at some stage, right? It may not be easy to decide at the beginning, but at least at some stage of the project, you have to say, yes, this is it. We have to finalize the design, right? Many people will just explore new things forever, right? And then technology upgrade. I'll tell a classical example. Until 2 years back, it was all about SAP ME and MII, but then all of a sudden SAP came up with a DMC solution, Digital Manufacturing Cloud. So how do we do this? We are in the middle of the implementation, and we have new technologies, right? So that's a continuous challenge. So we have to keep our eyes and ears open for new technologies, how we can leverage the benefit, but at the same time keep this program running, and then achieve the end goal. So I'll have to rush. I have 1 more minute. And going paperless, yes, any digital transformation, going paperless is one of the objectives, but that cannot be the one and only objective, right? We don't want to get into the loop of, okay, we are spending so much, we don't want to print papers. If we have to print, let's print it, but the ultimate goal is to integrate all systems and have a complete solution. So case studies, I'll have to just skip. We have this printed out, and if you can visit our booth, we'll hand it over to you. So we have implemented or helped in digital transformation across multiple large companies, right? When I say large, it's like market leaders in US, right? And market leaders in floor coverings, market leaders in steel manufacturing and so on, market leaders in security cameras. So large clients, we have implemented SAP. All right, I'm going to quickly skip this, and final closing comments. I want to say one big thank you to everyone, 𝐒𝐻𝐳 and Dell Computers and all the co-sponsors for making this event a grand success. Thank you very much.